This morning, a 72-year-old woman passed away unexpectedly. The cause? A simple mistake she didn't even realize she was making, one that millions of people over 70 make every single day. As a health professional with over 20 years of experience caring for older adults, I can tell you, the little things we do in the morning, the ones we barely think about, can quietly add up and put our health at serious risk. Dizziness, falls, heart strain, even strokes. They don't always come from big events. Sometimes they start with small habits. But here's the good news. Once you know what to avoid, these risks become easy to prevent. In this video, I'll walk you through 4 common morning mistakes that many seniors make without realizing it. And more importantly, I'll show you how to fix them, step by step. Because a safer, healthier morning routine could be the key to staying active, independent, and well for years to come. Mistake 1. Getting out of bed too quickly. One of the most dangerous things older adults do in the morning is something that feels completely harmless. Getting out of bed too fast. You might not give it a second thought, but for people over 70, this simple habit can lead to dizziness, sudden drops in blood pressure, and even dangerous falls. Here's why. As we age, our circulatory system becomes slower to adjust. After lying down for several hours, blood tends to pool in the lower part of the body. If you sit up or stand too quickly, your blood pressure can drop suddenly, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. This is what causes that lightheaded or off-balance feeling many people experience right after waking up. Think back to this morning. Did you feel a little dizzy when you stood up? Did your vision blur for a moment, or did you need to steady yourself before walking? That's your body signaling that it wasn't quite ready for sudden movement. And if you're not careful, that brief moment of instability could result in a fall, something that becomes far more dangerous with age. Take Edward, 74. Every morning he'd swing his legs over the bed and stand up without thinking. One day he blacked out for a second and nearly fell. Thankfully, he landed back on the bed. But that moment was a wake-up call. From that day on, he changed the way he started his morning. The solution? It's simple, and it works. Follow this 3-step process every morning. Start slow. When you first wake up, take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. This helps reactivate circulation. Roll and rise gradually. Gently roll onto your side and slowly push yourself up to a seated position. Let your feet rest on the floor. Pause before standing. Take a moment to sit. Move your ankles. Stretch your arms, and give your body 10 to 20 seconds to adjust. Then stand up carefully. This tiny change, just a few extra seconds, can dramatically reduce your risk of dizziness, imbalance, and falls. And as any health professional will tell you, falls are one of the most serious health risks for older adults. They often lead to broken bones, hospital stays, or long-term mobility problems. So if you've been jumping out of bed quickly out of habit, it's time to reconsider. Because those few extra seconds, they could save your life. Mistake 2. Skipping water in the morning. Another overlooked, but surprisingly dangerous, mistake many older adults make is not drinking water first thing in the morning. It might not seem like a big deal. After all, most people don't feel thirsty right away. But by the time you wake up, your body has already gone 6 to 8 hours without fluids. And for older adults, that mild dehydration can quietly put strain on your heart, your circulation, and even your brain. Here's what happens overnight. While you sleep, your body continues to work. Your organs are active, your lungs are breathing, and your body loses water through sweat and respiration. By morning, your blood becomes slightly thicker and your circulation slows down. If you don't rehydrate soon after waking, that low fluid level can increase the risk of high blood pressure, poor kidney function, fatigue, and, in more serious cases, stroke or heart problems. Think about how you feel most mornings. Do you wake up with a dry mouth? Do your joints feel stiff or achy? Does it take a while to feel fully awake or focused? These can all be early signs of dehydration, even if you don't feel thirsty yet. Now here's the kicker. If your first drink of the day is coffee, not water, you may actually be making things worse. Caffeine is a diuretic. It pulls water from the body, So starting your morning with coffee alone can deepen that dehydration. Take James, age 76. He had a lifelong habit. Wake up, drink coffee, skip breakfast. But as the years passed, he began feeling groggy, dizzy, and unfocused in the mornings. His doctor suggested something simple: drink water first. Within 2 weeks, James felt more alert, his headaches lessened, and he had more consistent energy throughout the day. Water's essential. It keeps your blood flowing, supports your kidneys, helps regulate your temperature, and reduces stress on the heart. So here's what I recommend. Drink 1 glass of water right after you wake up. Keep it on your nightstand if that helps. If you prefer warm drinks, try warm water with a slice of lemon. It's gentle and refreshing. Avoid waiting until you're thirsty. By then, your body's already playing catch up. This one simple habit, drinking a glass of water each morning, can improve circulation, reduce fatigue, and even help with digestion. So tomorrow morning, before that first sip of coffee, do your body a favor. Hydrate. It's one of the easiest things you can do to feel better, think clearer, and age stronger. Mistake 3. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. For many people, the day doesn't officially begin until that first cup of coffee. But if you're over 70 and drinking coffee before eating anything, you could be setting yourself up for problems without realizing it. Here's why it matters. When you wake up in the morning, your stomach is empty, your blood sugar is low, and your digestive system is just starting to boot up. At the same time, your body's natural stress hormone, cortisol, is already at its peak. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, you spike your cortisol even further. That leads to a heightened stress response, jitteriness, and a sharp hit to your digestion. Over time, it can contribute to acid reflux, stomach irritation, anxiety, and even blood sugar imbalances. You might already recognize the symptoms: that nervous, shaky feeling after a morning cup, a wave of nausea or heartburn, brain fog followed by a sudden energy crash. All of these are signs that your body isn't handling caffeine well on an empty stomach. Let's look at Robert, 75. Every morning he reached for his black coffee before anything else. It had been his ritual for decades. But recently, he'd been dealing with more frequent acid reflux and morning anxiety. After speaking with his doctor, he tried a small change: eating something light before his coffee. A banana, a few almonds, even a slice of toast. Within weeks, his digestion improved, and the jittery feelings stopped. The solution isn't cutting coffee altogether. It's reordering your routine. Here's what I suggest. Have a small snack before coffee. A piece of fruit, a handful of nuts, yogurt, or even a few crackers can make a big difference. Avoid drinking coffee on a completely empty stomach. If possible, pair your coffee with a light breakfast to support digestion and blood sugar balance. Why does this work? Because food buffers the acidity of coffee and slows the absorption of caffeine. That means less stress on your stomach, more stable energy levels, and a calmer start to your day. So tomorrow, before you grab that first cup, ask yourself, have I given my body something to work with? A small adjustment in timing could be the key to more comfortable mornings and better long-term gut health. Mistake 4. Ignoring morning stiffness and moving too quickly. One of the most common and most underestimated morning mistakes among older adults is brushing off that tight, stiff feeling in the joints and rushing into movement too fast. Here's the reality. As we sleep, our bodies naturally stiffen due to lack of movement and reduced circulation. For people over 70, this stiffness is often more pronounced because the body produces less synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that helps our joints move smoothly. When you wake up feeling stiff and try to move too quickly, especially in low lighting or without proper support, you increase your risk of falls, muscle strain, or serious joint injury. Think back to a morning when you got out of bed and felt tightness in your back, knees, or hips. Maybe it eased up after a few minutes. Or maybe you ignored it and went about your day. But here's the danger. Over time, that stiffness, if left unaddressed, can lead to reduced mobility, chronic pain, or even a sudden fall that results in a broken bone or hospital stay. After 2 decades of working closely with nutrition in older adults, this health expert has seen it time and time again. Foods that are celebrated for their health benefits can quietly become harmful if handled the wrong way. And few foods illustrate this better than eggs. Eggs are often praised as a nutritional powerhouse, packed with high-quality protein, essential vitamins, and healthy fats that support heart, brain, and eye health. But what many people don't realize is that how you cook, store, or even combine eggs with other ingredients can make all the difference between a meal that boosts your well-being and one that slowly undermines it. So the question isn't, are eggs healthy? The real question is, are you eating eggs in a way that's truly safe and beneficial for your body? That's what prompted this expert to break down 5 common mistakes that millions of people, especially those over 60, make with eggs every single day. And often they've been doing it for years without a second thought. This article isn't meant to scare you into cutting out eggs. Quite the opposite. It's here to help you keep enjoying eggs with confidence by making small, smart adjustments that protect your health and enhance the nutritional value of what you're already eating. Mistake 1. Overcooking eggs. One of the most common and most overlooked mistakes people make with eggs is overcooking them. While eggs are naturally rich in protein, healthy fats, and brain-supporting nutrients, cooking them at excessively high temperatures can trigger damaging chemical changes that rob the egg of its benefits, and in some cases, make it mildly harmful. When eggs are overcooked, whether by frying them until the edges are browned and crispy, boiling them until the yolk turns grayish-green, or scrambling them at high heat, they undergo oxidation. This process alters the cholesterol inside the egg and can create compounds that are associated with inflammation and, over time, increased risk of heart disease. The strong sulfuric smell that comes from a hard-boiled egg left too long in hot water? That's a reaction between sulfur in the egg white and iron in the yolk, forming iron sulfide, a clear sign that the nutrients have been degraded. For seniors who are already more vulnerable to inflammatory conditions, consistently eating overcooked eggs may contribute to chronic digestive discomfort, reduced nutrient absorption, and long-term cardiovascular concerns. Take Robert, for example. At 76, he had fried eggs for breakfast every morning, always cooking them until the edges were crispy and golden brown. Over time, he noticed more frequent heartburn, bloating, and a sluggish feeling after meals. After learning about the link between oxidized cholesterol and inflammation, he decided to change his approach. No more high heat. Instead, he gently scrambled his eggs over low heat and opted for poaching a few times a week. Within a month, his digestion improved and he felt noticeably more energized. Another issue with high heat, it destroys sensitive nutrients. Eggs contain vitamin B12, folate, and powerful antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are especially important for brain and eye health. When exposed to prolonged high temperatures, these nutrients are significantly reduced, meaning even though you're eating eggs, you're not getting their full benefit. The good news? You don't need to give up eggs, you just need to adjust how you cook them. Gentler cooking methods, like soft boiling, poaching, or scrambling on low heat, help retain more nutrients and reduce harmful oxidation. If you prefer frying, use a lower heat setting and avoid browning. Even a small shift in your cooking routine can make a big difference in your long-term health. Mistake 2. Eating raw or undercooked eggs. Many people believe that eating raw or undercooked eggs is a great way to get pure nutrition. It's a common assumption. Raw eggs must have more nutrients because they haven't been touched by heat, right? But here's what most people don't realize. Raw eggs come with serious health risks, especially for older adults. Raw or undercooked eggs can carry harmful bacteria like salmonella, which can cause severe food poisoning. For younger individuals with strong immune systems, this might result in nothing more than an uncomfortable day or two of cramps and nausea. But for seniors, whose immune responses naturally weaken with age, even mild infections can lead to serious complications, including dehydration, hospitalization, or worse. Consider Margaret, a 68-year-old who had been blending raw eggs into her morning smoothie for years. She believed it was the healthiest way to get protein and nutrients without damaging them through cooking. But one day she was hit with severe stomach cramps, fever, and vomiting. A visit to her doctor confirmed it. Salmonella poisoning. It was a wake-up call. Since switching to fully cooked eggs, she hasn't had another episode. And she still gets all the nutritional benefits without the risk. There's also a hidden issue most people have never heard of. Avidin. It's a protein found in raw egg whites that binds to biotin, a crucial B vitamin that supports your metabolism, nervous system, and even your skin and hair. When eggs are eaten raw, avidin prevents your body from absorbing biotin properly, and over time, this can lead to vitamin deficiencies. The solution? Simple. Cook your eggs. Heat neutralizes avidin, making biotin fully bioavailable again. Some people argue that raw eggs from organic or free-range farms are safer, but the truth is, bacteria doesn't care where the egg came from. Any egg, even a clean-looking one, can carry pathogens if it wasn't handled or stored properly. So what should you do? Stick to fully cooked eggs, hard-boiled, scrambled, or poached with a firm whitened yolk. If you really love runny yolks, pasteurized eggs are a safer option, but cooking them through is always the most reliable defense. Mistake 3. Improper storage of cooked eggs. Most people don't think twice about how they store their eggs after cooking, but improper storage can silently turn a safe meal into a breeding ground for dangerous bacteria. Eggs, like most cooked foods, should never be left at room temperature for extended periods. Once they cool down and sit out in the danger zone, between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, bacteria such as Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli can begin multiplying within just a few hours. This becomes especially dangerous for seniors. As the digestive and immune systems age, foodborne illnesses can hit harder, last longer, and cause more serious complications than in younger adults. Take George, age 72. To save time, he would cook a large batch of scrambled eggs at the start of each week and leave them loosely covered in the refrigerator. After eating them over several days, he began experiencing bloating, nausea, and occasional stomach cramps. When he finally switched to storing his eggs in airtight containers and preparing smaller batches more frequently, the symptoms disappeared. Here are the golden rules this health expert recommends for storing cooked eggs safely. Refrigerate immediately after cooling. Don't leave eggs out for more than 2 hours. Use airtight containers to prevent contamination and slow bacterial growth. Follow safe time frames. Hard-boiled eggs. Use within 7 days. Scrambled or fried eggs. Best within 3 to 4 days. Another overlooked hazard is cross-contamination. Storing cooked eggs near raw meats, unwashed vegetables, or uncovered leftovers can lead to dangerous bacterial transfer. Even if the eggs were originally safe, many assume that because the eggs are already cooked, they're immune to contamination. But once they cool down, they're just as vulnerable as any perishable food. And what about reheating? Microwaving eggs can lead to an unpleasant texture, rubbery, dry, and sometimes foul-smelling. Worse, reheating them unevenly may not fully eliminate bacteria. A better option is to reheat gently on the stove, adding a splash of water or broth to retain moisture. If you must use a microwave, do so in short intervals and stir halfway through to keep the texture soft and consistent. In short, cooked eggs are safe, but only if stored and reheated correctly. Paying attention to this often ignored detail can help you avoid unnecessary digestive issues and keep your meals safe and satisfying. Mistake 4. Using cracked or expired eggs. One of the simplest ways to turn eggs from a nutritional asset into a health hazard is by using ones that are cracked, expired, or poorly stored. Even if an egg looks fine at first glance, hidden damage or spoilage can open the door to harmful bacteria, especially Salmonella, which thrives in environments where the egg's natural barrier, its shell, has been compromised. This is especially risky for older adults. As the body ages, the immune system loses some of its ability to fight off infections. A younger person might bounce back from a mild case of food poisoning, But for a senior, a contaminated egg could result in dehydration, hospitalization, or lingering gastrointestinal issues. Let's take Evelyn, age 74. She was always careful about what she ate, cooked her own meals, avoided junk food, but she never thought much about checking her eggs. One morning, she cracked an egg into the pan and noticed a strange smell. She shrugged it off and cooked it anyway. Hours later, she was hit with intense nausea and stomach cramps. Her doctor diagnosed her with food poisoning from a spoiled egg. From that day forward, she never skipped the water test. That simple test? It's one of the most effective ways to check egg freshness. Fill a bowl with cold water. Gently place the egg in. If it sinks and lies flat, it's fresh. If it stands upright, it's still safe, but should be used soon. If it floats, it's gone bad. Throw it out. But freshness isn't just about time. It's also about how eggs are stored. If eggs are kept at the wrong temperature, whether during transport, in the grocery store, or in your own fridge, condensation can form on the shell. This moisture can make it easier for bacteria to get inside, even if the shell looks intact. That's why this expert always recommends store eggs in the coldest part of your refrigerator, not the door, where temperatures fluctuate the most. Check for cracks before buying and using. Even hairline cracks can allow bacteria to slip in. Trust your senses. If an egg smells off or looks discolored, don't take chances. Bottom line, no matter how nutritious an egg is supposed to be, once it's cracked, expired, or poorly handled, it's not worth the risk. Mistake 5, using the wrong cooking oils with eggs. Most people focus on how they cook their eggs, but few stop to think about what they're cooking them in. And that, according to this health expert, is a major blind spot in many diets. Eggs are already a nutritional powerhouse, full of high-quality protein, omega-3s, and brain-boosting nutrients. But when cooked in unhealthy oils, their benefits can be overshadowed by the harmful compounds created in the process. The biggest culprits? Highly processed vegetable oils, such as soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, and margarine. Especially when used at high heat, these oils break down quickly when heated, producing oxidized lipids and trans fats. Over time, these harmful byproducts contribute to chronic inflammation, increased risk of heart disease, higher likelihood of cognitive decline in older adults. Take Frank, 78. For decades, he had been frying his eggs in vegetable oil, thinking oil was oil, but after reading about the dangers of refined seed oils, he made the switch to extra virgin olive oil and grass-fed butter. Within just a few weeks, he noticed a real difference: improved digestion, less fatigue after meals, and a feeling of lightness he hadn't felt in years. He didn't change what he ate, just how he cooked it. The smoke point of cooking oil, the temperature at which it starts breaking down, is another critical factor. Many vegetable oils have low smoke points, meaning they become unstable quickly and release free radicals, which damage cells and accelerate aging. So what should you use instead? This expert recommends cooking eggs with butter, preferably grass-fed, ghee, clarified butter, excellent for high-heat cooking, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, great for those who prefer a neutral flavor and high smoke point. These fats not only withstand heat better, but also offer additional health benefits, supporting heart health, reducing inflammation, and even enhancing nutrient absorption. Remember, it's not just what you eat, it's how you prepare it. Using the right cooking oils can be the difference between a meal that heals and a meal that harms. Now that the 5 most common egg-related mistakes have been laid out, it's time to reflect. How have you been cooking, storing, and handling your eggs? Because the truth is, eggs aren't inherently good or bad. It all comes down to how you treat them. From this expert's experience, the most powerful health improvements often come from small but consistent changes. And that's exactly what this article has aimed to help you do. Let's recap. If you've been overcooking eggs, start using lower heat. Soft scrambling, poaching, or gentle boiling can preserve nutrients and reduce harmful oxidation. If you've been eating them raw or undercooked, Switch to fully cooked options to protect yourself from foodborne illness, especially critical for older adults. If you've stored cooked eggs improperly, remember, refrigerate promptly, use airtight containers, and reheat gently. If you've used expired or cracked eggs, don't guess. Check them with the water test and store them properly in the coldest part of your fridge. And if you've been using the wrong oils, try healthier alternatives like olive oil, butter, or avocado oil. Your heart and brain will thank you. Eggs can still be a powerful part of a healthy diet, no matter your age, but only if prepared and handled wisely. These aren't dramatic lifestyle overhauls. They're simple adjustments. And those are often the most sustainable. Your body depends on your food choices for energy, immunity, and long-term vitality. So don't just eat better, cook smarter. If you found this guide helpful, feel free to share what tips stood out the most or what change you'll be making in your own kitchen. And remember, staying informed is one of the best ways to stay healthy.